What's poppin', YouTube? We're back again with another video. We watched one video by this creator before, and it was incredible. I got emotional. I got hype. I went through a whole last emotional journey. If you want to see that, it's here on the channel. But also, a link to the original video is also in the description below. Please go support it. But hey, while you're here, support this video too. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below to feed the algorithm guts. On top of that, join us over on Twitch at Aliciaxlife. You're currently watching Aliciaxdeath here on YouTube. I have an Aliciaxlife YouTube channel, and I have Aliciaxlife over on Twitch. Let's get this ish. This one's called American Secret... What? America's Secret Underground Cheese Bunkers? Underground cheese bunkers? Oh, yes. The perfect video for us. Yes. We found it.
This has almost nothing to do with the US military, but it's so ridiculous I can't not talk about it. Today we're talking about America's strategic cheese reserve. Yeah, if you didn't know, the United States currently has over 500 underground cave warehouses spanning across 35 different states, the largest of which is underneath Springfield, Missouri, where America, as of August 2022, currently hoards 1.5 billion pounds of cheese. And
why? Why are they hoarding that much cheese? We could make a cheese throne and a cheese castle with all that cheese. That's insane. That's insane.
And just for the record, I realize I'm uploading this video very close to April Fool's Day. This is not an April Fool's joke. I am 100% serious. El Dorado is real, and Uncle Sam made it out of cheese. Look.
Yes. The golden cheddar of El Dorado.
El Dorado, a city of gold.
And I know what you're thinking. Right now, you're like, wow, that's a cool little factoid. I can't wait to share that with my buddy at the bar one day. But no, this is going to infect your thoughts for the rest of your life. You're never going to see the world through the same lens ever again. I mean, for example, let's just say you're at home watching The Walking Dead. You're going to come to the realization there'd be way more fucking cheese in the apocalypse than that, okay? You're never going to be able to watch Mad Max again without thinking about cheese. You have to come to the terrifying realization that you live in a world where there is a greater than 0% chance that one of these underground cheese caves gets mistaken for a government facility and gets nuked in World War III, and we're going to have to deal with a radioactive tsunami wave of nacho cheese.
That'd be an excellent way to go out. Listen, I'm holding a piece of cheese right. I'm holding a piece of cheese right now, and I need you to understand. If I was gonna die, right, it better not be my fucking cancer. It better be me dying from cheese. Okay, that's my only wish. I need it to be known. I'm eating. Send cheese pics. I'll make a OnlyFans for my cheese.
And this is real life. So I asked myself one question: how on earth did America get to this point? Because I know it didn't happen overnight. And what I found was the craziest real-world example of a butterfly effect that I have ever seen. And believe it or not, it all actually ties back in with last week's video of the ice cream ships of World War II. If you missed...
There was ice cream ships in World War II? This is... What is happening? What is happening?
That the super abbreviated version, basically the US government banned alcohol during Prohibition in the 1920s.
Oh yeah, we know that.
Because of that, all the bars in America turned themselves into ice cream parlors to stay in business. Ice cream stepped up to fill the social void left by alcohol. If so facto, there was like 2 generations of Americans that treated ice cream like it was alcohol, socially speaking. As I'm sure you can imagine, this would drive up dairy consumption. Combine that...
That's so fucking cool. I didn't even know that. I had no... Yeah. That's so cool.
With the fact that the 30s and 40s is when refrigeration would become readily accessible, meant that for the first time in human history there was such a demand for dairy products that farmers could exclusively become dairy farmers, meaning that this would be the birth of the entire dairy industry. And honestly, it worked out great. right up until it didn't in 1949. 1949, 4 years after World War II, the American military is downsized, there's not an entire horde of young men eating 10,000 calories a day, and America's not exporting anywhere near as much food to other countries for war relief, meant that there was a decrease in dairy consumption, or a dip in the dairy market. As this became a bigger and bigger problem, the government had to step in because they weren't about to let the entire dairy industry implode, because, I mean, let's face it, that would be utter catastrophe. So the USDA stepped in and said, hey, you know what? We're going to buy all the excess milk. Okay, pause. Thought experiment. You're a dairy farmer. You make all of your money by selling milk. And then suddenly, a couple years back, motherfuckers quit drinking milk, aka you made less money. Now the government has come out of left field and said, hey, we're going to buy all of the milk. What do? You make more fucking milk. And that's
yeah. Which doesn't seem to solve the problem. It seems to perpetuate the problem, right?
Exactly what happened. So just to be clear, there was already too much milk. Now there's definitely gonna be too much milk.
Yeah, exactly.
So naturally all the milk starts flowing in. The government has absolutely no idea what to do with it, so they turn it into cheese, that way it doesn't expire. That part makes sense, but now what do you do with all the cheese? They have no clue, so they just throw it underneath a mountain, ignore it, and hope the problem goes away. But it doesn't go away because every single presidential administration through the 50s, the 60s, the 70s...
This is starting to make so much more sense of why they would have so much cheese. This is so fucking interesting to me. Also because I love cheese, and y'all know that, and I'm a little fucking rat. But like, holy shit, the innovation to be like, yes, our milk problem is out of hand. Thus the cheese apocalypse. Throw it under a mountain. The caverns will do. Like, what the fuck?
Continue to buy up excess milk to prop up the dairy industry, turn it into cheese, and stash it away in these caves. It literally turns into a giant political game of kick the can down the road because nobody wants to be the president that crashes the global economy by not buying enough milk while sitting on top of a mountain of cheese, which, understandable, I don't want to be that guy either. Then, fast forward to 1980, Ronald Reagan, aka the small government guy, gets elected, finds out that the US government is sitting on top of 500 million pounds of cheese and spending $1 million a day to refrigerate and store it, and he looks at this whole issue like a beaver looks at running water. Absolutely fucking not. We can't have it. So his administration goes about figuring out the cheapest way to solve this cheese problem. Obviously, we're gonna throw it all in the ocean. However, having at least the foresight to understand that
they're gonna throw the cheese into the ocean? That's gonna fuck up the marine life super badly. All right? Cheese stuffed fish. That's gonna fuck them up with their diets. Oh, dude. Why not sell it? Nah. So the thing about like the market, especially when it comes to like food and having like an excessive amount of it, is that it fucks up how it works. So okay, my brain's not working well enough for this. This sucks. Why did I take my cancer meds? This is so dog shit. Okay, so it's kind of like supply and demand chain. So when you think about it, if you had cheese in the supermarket right now, let's say like a whole block of cheese. I'm Canadian. It costs $7.49 for us. If you want to get a block of cheese that's not on sale, no name brand is $6.49 for a block of cheese. Now, for Americans, that's like, imagine like just $2 knocked off or some shit. But yeah, so basically what happens though is if you have an excess amount of cheese, you end up having to lower the pricing so that way people will actually buy it and engage with it more. Right? The lower your prices are, the flash sales that you have, the more likely people are going to buy it. But the problem with that is that you run into an issue of it fucking up your entire cheese economy. This actually is something similar that happened with the egg industry. Eggs during the time of COVID now caused it so that, like, because egg prices went way up during COVID. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not, or how many of you guys grocery shop for eggs, but eggs doubled in price during COVID. Post-COVID, they are still the same price. Now, what are these farmers doing with these eggs? They're literally paid to just to break them. They're not like the whole point of it is that if they distribute all these eggs and they keep pumping out eggs at the same rate, then it'll devalue. So instead, they're just literally disposing of these eggs. So now, like, and that's the same thing that would happen with the cheese, is that they're trying to dispose of the cheese rather than selling it because that would fuck up the economics of cheese. Mind you, food should be cheaper and more accessible in general, but, you know, mega conglomerates, and we can talk about all that nonsense later, but, you know, that's just the reality. When it comes to local farmers and local businesses, that's one thing, but when it comes to mega corporations buying out, they strong-arm the small man, and they can only do so much to fight back. Did that make sense? Did that help a little bit to understand why you wouldn't just sell the cheese? Thanks for the 100 bits, Tanuki. We had a bird flu outbreak in the US, which made eggs cost $6 a dozen for a few months earlier this year. Holy shit. Yeah, $6 for a dozen's insanely high. Yeah. Yeah.
That would cause political backlash. He wanted to see how the public would receive it, so someone from his administration shows up to a White House press conference with a 5-pound block of moldy cheese and is like, hey, we got 500 million pounds of this shit. How would you guys feel if we threw it in the ocean? It'll be fun. We'll save money on cheese. We're going to find out if blue whales are lactose intolerant. It's going to be a great science experiment. The public did not go for it. They kind of felt like, hey, I've paid taxes for the last 40 years. You've turned those taxes into cheese. I would at least like the cheese. So then the Reagan administration took the 55-gallon drums of cheese, cut it up into 5-pound blocks, packaged it, and spent the remainder of his administration funneling 300 million pounds of cheese into impoverished and elderly homes. And this is where we get the saying government cheese from.
You're gonna end.
Wait, that's actually kind of dope, though. So they end up distributing the cheese back into, like, low economy homing and elderly. That's kind of... I have heard of government cheese before. I never even realized what the saying came from, though. Because, like, even now we're like, ooh, that cheese, that cheddar, when it comes to money and shit like that. Like, that's so interesting. Liquid gold.
A steady diet of government cheese and living in a van down by the river.
The US government would then continue to give out government cheese until the 1990s when they seemingly ran out, because as of today, all 1.5 billion pounds of underground secret cheese in America is privately owned by corporations like Kraft and Velveeta. And this is the part where I wanted to end the video on a happy note of the government made a mistake, they fixed a mistake over 50 years, happy ending. Hooray. However, it didn't really make sense because something happened in the 1990s where the government was able to stop buying the excess milk. What happened? And that's when it hit me. It was absolutely the Got Milk ad campaign, the biggest, most iconic ad campaign of all time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, every cafeteria and every school in America had a bunch of posters of famous athletes with milk mustaches saying, "Got milk, drink your milk." I vividly remember commercials as a child telling me that if I didn't drink enough milk, my arms would literally fall off my body.
Well, Mr. Miller told me he never drinks milk. Look at him.
No, that's not good.
Got milk.
Surely this is what inspired an entire generation of Americans to eat and drink more dairy products, right? I mean, yeah, probably, but looking back on it now as an adult, doesn't it seem just a little bit weird that it wasn't a particular company putting on all these ads? Like,
Okay, can we just W for the smoothest transition to put the tinfoil hat on? Not even mentioned, nothing hinting towards it, just slowly putting it on. Just chilling. I fuck with that. Yeah, the tinfoil cap, baby. Shit, yeah, it go hard. That was nice. Instead of like making a big ass thing, just a small little zoom while transitioning to it. That's dope.
if there wasn't one company profiting from selling all this milk, where was all the money coming from? I mean, it almost seems like the government launched a giant psychological operation, ad campaign, just so that they could offload milk so they wouldn't have to keep contributing to their mountain of cheese.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to take this off now because that's legit exactly what happened. In 1995, the U.S. government created a nonprofit organization known as Dairy Management Incorporated, and their entire job was to get the American people to eat and drink more dairy products. Literally a cabal of individuals plotting behind the scenes to get people to eat more cheese. It's the cheesiest conspiracy of all time. And I'm not even kidding. Anything that has ever been sold or marketed that involved way too much cheese on it, this company is behind. Okay, they're the reason that that Taco Bell started selling steak quesadillas. They were behind the Got Milk ad campaign. In 2002, when Pizza Hut had the Summer of Cheese event where they put way too much cheese on all their pizzas, this is who was behind it. In 2010, when Domino's almost went out of business, they gave Domino's $12 million to stay in business and then gave them a bunch of cheese so that they could put extra cheese on all of their pizzas, and that was their...
I need to reevaluate my life. Do I consume this much cheese because I enjoy it? Or because I'm a government dog? Who am I? I'm just a rat. I just like cheese. Nom 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 nom. It's that simple. I like cheese. Nodders. Nods in the chat. Nods. I like cheese. It's fine.
Their entire proposition for staying in business. Hey, our pizzas have more cheese on them now, so they're good. It is absolutely insane. So I did it. I found the world's cheesiest conspiracy, but then I found leaked internal documents from DMI.
What the
and
fuck?
They are the funniest fucking thing I have ever read in my entire life. Let me go ahead and read one for you now. It's a letter from Pizza Hut to DMI regarding a meeting they recently had. July 6, 1999. Dear Greta, we wanted to express our thanks once again for a wonderful meeting last week. We appreciate your team taking the time to share some very valuable information and creativity during our brainstorming session. Okay. Everyone is very excited about the presentation you gave regarding DMI's available resources and cheese industry insights. We look forward to working together to develop many cheese ideas we've discussed. We believe this is going to be a valuable partnership for both Pizza Hut and DMI. Let's sell more pizza and more cheese! Exclamation point. Thank you again for coming to Dallas. We look forward to talking to you soon about our partnership opportunities. We will call you next week to discuss the next steps. Sincerely.
Is this why they started stuffing crusts with cheese? It wasn't so you would just eat it in reverse. Because they wanted to add more cheese into the pizza without ruining the pizza integrity. Ooh. Mozza sticks? Mozza sticks? Big cheese is winning.
Derek, Lord of the Cheese, and Liskrin, Lady of the Cheese. Even they know.
That's actually what it signed. Lord of the Cheese and Lady of the Cheese. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I didn't even look down that far until he said it. I didn't look down that far until he said it. Listen, I'm not a lord and lady. I am the queen of rats, for I have a queendom. Yes. Hand forth your cheeses and your libations. Yes.
And Liskrin, Lady of the Cheese. Even they know that this is a fucking joke. Why is this such a joke? Well, because Dairy Management Incorporated, while it is a non-profit, they don't actually have to raise money for themselves like most non-profits do, because they're also a government checkoff program, which means every dairy farmer in America is legally required, whether they want to or not, to send this company money so that they can advertise on their behalf. And their annual budget is like $140 million a year, with their CEO and top level executives all making right around $1 million per year. Okay, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to tell you there is a group of people in America getting paid $1 million to convince Americans that cheese is awesome. Okay, that's like trying to fucking explain to Stevie Wonder what nothing looks like and getting paid $1 million for it. He already fucking knows that, okay? It makes no goddamn...
Yeah, cheese just tastes fucking good. I don't think I need convincing, dog. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think I need somebody to tell me, hey, yo, cheese, though. I just enjoy consuming it. I just eat what I like. Well, I mean, right now I'm on keto, so I just eat it more often because I'm on keto. But, like, I mean, I'm sure that I have been heavily influenced by things in media when it comes to me craving something. There's definitely been times where I've, like, watched an ad for, like, a pizza commercial and been like, fuck, I want a pizza. Like, I've definitely been influenced before by stuff. I'm not gonna be like a dickhead and be like, I've never been, changed or whatever from something. But no, like, it does happen. But in reality, like, I feel like a lot of us have self-control. 2, we don't have the disposable income to instantly buy whatever gets marketed to us. And 3, like, I don't know, dog. Like, I guess though, if we're like the general, the only thing that ever like makes me think about how influential marketing is when it comes to food and like mega corporations that distribute food is pricing. You know, it's so much cheaper to buy junk food than it is to buy healthy food. And that's just the reality, right? And like the cheapest thing you can buy that you can make yourself that isn't fast food is like spaghetti and pre-made tomato sauce. But even that's not even healthy for you, right? It's so heavy in carbs that it spikes your blood sugar, it fucks you up. It makes you feel very carb loaded and heavy after you're done because you'll get the spike of energy that you're supposed to have, but if you don't properly run or burn it off, you're going to get sleepy after because you're going to have carb overload. You're going to have to take a nap. It's either one, right? So it's like it's so shit. So like when people are and when all these junk food companies and all these like stuff is like advertising to you, it's going to influence you, but it's not influencing you because you're like, "Oh shit, this looks so good. I need to be told cheese tastes good." Half the time it's because the economic standpoint. You're like, "Shit, what can I afford?" I guess I can afford a junior chicken, and then you go get your junior chicken. Like that's like usually how it turns out. Or it's about convenience for some people. Some people order Uber Eats and DoorDash way too fucking much, even though they upcharge their prices like crazy. Even if you get Dash Pass and Uber Eats Pass or whatever, they're still upcharging you like crazy. But a lot of people do it out of convenience, and that's okay too. Like as long as you understand what you're doing, because the convenience of using those apps, um, it's like cost sunk evaluation, right? You have to understand, is the money you're going to use to make your own food, would you make more money continuing to do the action you were going to do than ordering food or not? Because otherwise you should be making your own shit, right? So that's what it kind of comes down to. I feel like there's like and then also like it's really scary because food ordering apps and food delivery apps have a super addictive trait to them. The reason why they're so addictive, one, because of convenience, but two, because you feel like you're getting almost like a present to your door. So it actually helps you like feel that feeling of excitement or relief when you see it that you don't get the same satisfaction when you make your own meal. So it ends up becoming almost this sort of like addictive behavior that people can have, which is like really sad for those of you guys who like use food delivery apps too often. So, yeah. It's just side tangent.
Cheese is so fucking good that it is the one thing on earth that if you were allergic to it, we're not going to say you have a cheese allergy. No, you're lactose intolerant. We're not going to say you're allergic because we all know you're going to eat that shit anyways because the consequences are worth it. Am I upset right now? A little bit. Is it because I'm jealous? Uh-huh. It's basically selling ass candles to dogs and getting paid $1 million for it. It is the most ridiculously easy job on the planet, and I'm so mad that it's not mine. Anyways, I guess if you made it this far in the unhinged...
Yeah, bro, if I had that job, I make $1 million a year to convince people to eat cheese. I do that already. Okay, half of the shit I say is about how much I love cheese. I should be being compensated. I'm not being compensated. I'm so mad. It's not fair.
TED Talk. In conclusion, the U.S. government banned alcohol in the 1920s. It set forth a ripple effect through time, and now some dude in 2023 has my dream job of making $1 million a year to convince people of some shit they already knew. And the U.S. has 1.5 billion pounds of cheese hidden in an underground cave network. Fucking the more you know, I guess. Thanks for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch at fatelectrician.com. Quack bang. Out. I'm gonna go eat some fucking cheese.
Damn, W, man. Oh my god. I love his channel. Yeah. Like, link to the description below is the original video. Go support him. It's too good. I feel like the way he delivers information too isn't that slow, lulling way that a lot of people do. He keeps it engaging. He keeps it funny. His commentary is good about it. Everything about his content's dope. And the fact that I can like sit here and also kind of like have a discourse with it too is pretty cool. Like have like a discussion about what's going on. I just think it's really well made and really well versed. So thanks so much for watching, YouTube. We'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for your love and support always. And don't forget the subscribe button. Stick around for daily uploads. I upload twice a day here on Aliciaxdeath. And if you want to see anime reactions as well as Rick and Morty reactions right now, you can check it out over on Aliciaxlife, my other channel. Alright, catch you later. Bye!